Indian matrimonial laws have empowered married women to randomly file dowry harassment cases against their husbands and their families. While one may argue that the anti-dowry law is very much needed, there are no consequences on women and their families who misuse these laws for their ulterior reasons. Have you heard about the Pantheerankavu, the dowry and domestic violence case from Kerala? If not, here is the entire story. How it started, what were the initial allegations by the wife, what actually happened to the husband, and what is the status of the case as on date. A couple gets married on 5th May 2024. Within 7 days of the marriage, that is on 12th of May, the newly married bride from Kerala's Ernakulam district publicly accuses her husband, Rahul Gopal, and his family of assaulting and threatening to kill her for dowry. The 26-year-old wife then lodges a complaint with the local police against her husband, charging him for brutal torture because she failed to meet his dowry demands. The complaint also stated that the man was previously married and he had not disclosed about the same to the woman's family. Not just this, but the woman and her family had also accused the police of negligence towards them, after which the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Saju K. Abraham, had taken charge of this investigation. Now, what were the allegations made by the wife? On 14th of May, that is within 2 days of this complaint being filed, the News Minute portal reached the place of the complainant, where she narrated to them what had allegedly happened at her home. The complainant wife then informs the portal that my husband beat me. He beat me on my face, my head, my ear, and after a point, I almost lost my consciousness. She also said that the husband kept shouting at me, kept threatening me that he would kill me, and he actually tried to kill me by strangling me with a cable of a phone charger. Adding further, the wife also said that luckily I somehow managed to get hold of that phone cable with my left hand and escape narrowly. She also said that I tried to escape from the room, but he dragged me to the bed and beat me using the belt. He pressed his fingernails into my lips and my neck. These were all the allegations actually published by the News Minute portal as they had been narrated by the wife to them at that point in time. Then the PTI also carried a story which quoted the woman's version of dowry demands, and it read as follows. Right before marriage, we had told the groom's family what we could give, and he, that is the husband, had said that he was okay with that. Now he claims that he deserves more dowry and also a car. Now let us also understand the husband's version. Following the entire media showdown by the wife, Rahul, who is an aeronautical engineer working in Germany, he spoke with mathrubhumi.com and he clarified that he had never asked for any kind of dowry from the woman's family. In fact, he also said that he had clearly disclosed about his previous marriage to this woman and her family was very much in the know-how of his earlier marriage. Now, Rahul claimed that he and his wife had a small fight that night, but later they had both resolved these issues and decided to move on. He further claimed that he had raised certain objections to the calls from his wife's friends, and that is why the fight had actually escalated when these calls kept continuing. He even requested that people should check both the SIM cards that his wife was holding, including her phone and WhatsApp chats, which would clarify the matter at large as to why that fight had actually been triggered. Now, though Rahul had claimed that he did hit his wife on that night, he categorically denied any charges of strangling his wife with a mobile charger, and he also claimed that the scar on her forehead was a result after she had slipped into the bathroom on her own. Now, Rahul says that this whole situation only worsened when the woman's family arrived for a ceremony, and that is when they started threatening to take a revenge by making his life miserable since he had raised his hand over their daughter. With regards to the accusations of demanding dowry, Rahul emphatically denied any of these allegations and said that these were only added to kind of strengthen a false case against him. In fact, the husband said that it was him who had paid 75% of the entire marriage expenses, and thus the question of dowry demand could never be true. As per the report by mathrubhumi.com, Rahul was kind of scared after this whole media showdown and he had fled to Singapore from where he was planning to take legal action against his complainant wife. On the other hand, in India, the State Human Rights Commission had taken a suo motu cognizance of the woman's domestic violence complaint and ordered an investigation into this matter. They had in fact even instructed the Kozhikode City Police Commissioner to submit their entire report within 15 days. Now, besides the husband, his family, which included mother and sister, along with his friend, were all booked. Not just this, but also the station house officer was booked for not acting in this matter swiftly at that point in time. Later, when it was learned that Rahul had now moved from Singapore to Germany, the Indian police authorities actually issued lookout notices at all airports against him and even sought for Interpol's assistance to apprehend him. Following this, the Interpol actually issued a blue corner notice against the husband. While the local authorities froze his bank accounts in Kerala after he had fled the country, the police also started efforts to freeze his bank accounts, which he held in Germany. Now comes the big twist in the tale after a month of all this drama. While efforts were on to bring Rahul back from Germany to India, the case suddenly took a U-turn on 10th June 2024 when the wife comes up with an 18-minute long video on her YouTube channel claiming that all the statements she made against her husband were false, given following the pressure from her parents. Not just this, not just withdrawing these allegations, but the wife now also expressed her interest to reunite and live with her husband. Now in this video, the wife alleged that it was her parents who cooked up these fake stories about torture in the name of dowry. She even concurred that the injuries on her body were a result of an accidental fall in the bathroom and not due to any assault by her husband. Now let us read out the exact statement put out by the wife on 10th of June. She said, "I regret over the revelation of false information to the media and the police. I did not want to do it. I was in a confused and shocked state after my parents' brainwashing attempts." The wife also went on to add that Rahul had indeed revealed his details of the first marriage, and only after she had agreed to this, they had proceeded with the second marriage as per her wishes. In that video, she once again reiterated that all the statements made by her on 12th of May were actually false. Now after this, there was a lot of buzz again on social media that perhaps the husband had kind of threatened her to come out with this video. But shockingly, she comes up with a second video assuring everybody that she was very much safe and that her statement was not under any kind of pressure. In fact, to everyone's shock, she now accuses her own family of giving her death threats. She adds further, saying that because of all the pressure that I was facing, I felt like staying away from everyone for a while. I know it is already too late, but I felt that I had to reveal the truth, at least at this stage. Adding further, she said that this is why I decided to stay away and make this video. My situation at home would not have allowed me to do so otherwise. Now, after the husband was named and shamed by media, the woman has actually gone ahead and given an affidavit in the Kerala High Court in this regard, clearing her husband from all the charges. Now, we'd also like to put out the statement from the wife's father, Mr. Haridas. He comes out after this video from his daughter, which is accusing them of death threats. And he, in fact, says that Rahul's family could have entrapped our daughter. And our earlier statements were actually based on what our daughter had told us. She even mentioned about the domestic violence, showed us the bruises on her body. We did not create those injuries or force our daughter to lie. Now, the lawyer of the wife also goes on record to say that this was actually just a petty dispute between the wife and the husband, and now they had resolved it. He said that the wife has submitted an affidavit to close the complaint, and thus he was moving forward accordingly. I'm certain many of you would be still thinking that the statement was changed by the wife under some kind of pressure. Thus, I'm putting out another report which was published by The Hindu, where they said that the woman had changed her statement at a time when the Central Bureau of Investigation exchanged the case details with the Interpol to issue a red corner notice against Rahul to bring him back from Germany to India. Now, since this video kind of seemed suspicious, which was clearing her husband of the said charges, the police assessed the reliability of the woman's statement because earlier she had given another statement to the magistrate under Section 164 of the CRPC. In fact, the police confirmed that no evidence had been received so far to consider that the woman's revised statement had been made under any kind of pressure or external threat or persuasion. So what is our take in this case? Matrimonial disputes are very, very tricky, and no one really knows what happens in the four corners of the wall between a couple. Domestic violence laws, in fact, are designed in such a way that the wife's statement gets weightage immediately at the outset, and a husband is always presumed to be guilty until the end of his trial. Now, let us analyze the role of mainstream and digital media, which has always played havoc in such cases, where even before a court verdict, multiple slanderous articles are penned against the husband and his family. Having said so, no one can really blame the media and society entirely, because it is human mindset to sympathize with a woman when she says that she was thrashed or beaten by her husband. Now, shouldn't cases like these actually serve as an eye-opener to everyone, where we start questioning the other side by default before pronouncing our judgments against someone? Voice for Men India mostly refrains from taking sides in all such matrimonial matters unless there is a final court order detailing the facts and findings of any case. Can we, as a responsible society, also not hold on to our horses instead of running abusive campaigns against one gender only because the social media empowers us to do so? Raising your voice against injustice to women should always be welcome. But how fair is it to convict a man and his family online only by reading one side of the version? Do give this a thought the next time you type in anger, tarnishing somebody's image without listening to their side of the story. We are leaving this entire article in the description link below, where you can find all the sources that have been quoted in this particular video. You can also read it on our website, voiceformenindia.com. Do follow us on our social media handles, which is Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, X, which was formerly Twitter. The ID for that is @voiceformenin. Do hit the bell icon and subscribe to Voice from India so that you can be updated as in how we broadcast a new video. What are your thoughts on this case? Do share your comments below. And thank you very much for watching. Namaste. Jai Hind.